Welcome, folks. I haven't been on social media a lot recently because I've been working on my supplement report, which will be available for purchase tomorrow and will be free to subscribers of my weekly intelligence report, The Signal. I'm going to start by talking about creatine, not because it's the most interesting supplement in the report, but actually because it's the least interesting. I've been taking creatine for 30 years now, and really not a lot has changed in the last 30 years from a supplementation standpoint. Creatine's really only new and interesting if you're some jackwagon influencer who just discovered what it was yesterday. The 5 things that have actually changed in the last 30 years. One is there's now a lot less emphasis on doing a loading phase. A loading phase is when you take a heightened dose of 20 to 30 grams a day for 5 to 7 days before reverting to a lower maintenance dose of 5 to 10 grams a day. If you're an athlete who wants to maximize every possible benefit from creatine, then by all means do a loading phase and you're going to saturate the muscles a little quicker. But for Gen Pop, it just doesn't matter. It's not a needle mover. With a regular maintenance dose, you're going to saturate the muscles just fine in about 30 days. The second thing that has changed is there is now a lot less emphasis on consuming creatine with a carbohydrate. So again, athlete, you want to maximize every benefit from creatine. Take it with a carbohydrate, and that insulin spike is going to help the muscles suck it up a little faster, saturate them a little quicker. But for Gen Pop, it just doesn't matter. It's not a needle mover. I take it with coffee in the morning, works just fine. The third thing that has changed is there's now a lot more emphasis on suppliers and manufacturers. And that's because in the early 2000s, a lot of cheap Chinese manufacturers forced the North American and European players out of the game. And right now, there is only one major non-Chinese manufacturer left, and that is in Germany. So I'm not here to bash China. I'm sure there's plenty of good Chinese manufacturers, but I'm not Mr. Creatine Detective. I'm not going to go testing every Chinese manufacturer to try to tell which ones are good, which ones are bad. I'm just going to take the German ones, so sorry, China. The fourth thing that has changed is there is now a lot more emphasis on third-party testing. And that came from Balco and the Major League Baseball drug scandals of the early 2000s. And obviously, if you're an athlete, you're worried about pissing a false positive because you pulled a batch of hot supplements. But even for Gen Pop, you're still worried about contaminants. So third-party testing is important. And you can watch my podcast episode with Andy Holmes from the third-party testing program, Informed Choice, Informed Sport, if you want to learn more about third-party testing. The last thing that's changed, which doesn't really change anything from a supplementation standpoint, is that we're learning about some of the other benefits of creatine. So decreased markers of inflammation, improved sleep, and improved bone mineral density. And the only thing that really potentially changes from a supplementation standpoint is cognitive performance. So there is some new evidence that ultra-high doses in the 20 to 40 gram per day range might benefit clinical populations, Alzheimer's dementia populations. The problem there is that doesn't necessarily extrapolate to young, healthy populations. So there is some potential upside for cognitive performance from heightened doses, but I can't pin it to any science. I can't say take a bunch of creatine and you're going to get smarter. Now, there's not a lot of downside because creatine has been stress tested for safety at up to 30 grams a day for 5 years. So you're probably not hurting yourself with those heightened doses. I just can't say go out and take a bunch of creatine and it's going to make you smarter. And anybody who tells you otherwise is full of shit and hasn't read the science. So that's it for creatine. Feltovich Fit, over and out.